Hello and welcome back to Bill's Cooking Show. Hey, I wanted to show you something that I think is really cool. I really like lobster. I love ravioli. I'm not a fan of lobster ravioli because usually there's so little lobster in the ravioli, you're not even sure what it is. But what it all comes down to is I think I really like the sauce that they put on it. So there are several different ways of making this. This is kind of my take on it. I wanted to show you. And as soon as my butter melts, we can get right to it. Always waiting for something, right? There's always something. So I've got 2 tablespoons of butter in here. And in a minute I'm going to add about a tablespoon of flour. I've got my pot of water ready to get my ravioli ready to rumble, and I think pretty well all set. All right, so got some butter. Just gonna knock in 2 tablespoons of. This isn't your normal ratio. It's 2 tablespoons of butter with 1 tablespoon of flour. You don't need a whole lot of flour for thickening. Now I've got 1/2 cups of half and half. Start getting this thick. Add carefully in the beginning so you don't lose all the heat. This is my favorite round bottom pan that I can make really good roux and gravies and all sorts of things in. It's funny, the bottom is just covered with scratches from my whisk. And lost the temperature there. Bubble on the edges, okay. Patience is a virtue. When I was young and stupid, I'd always try and pour the whole thing in and make it thicker later. Well, let me tell you, you waste a lot of time. So I get this roux done. We're going to talk about how we're going to get the rest of it all back together again. I don't usually use 2 pans for making this kind of a dish, but I think you really need to keep the quality of the roux up there, so this is one of the few times I do make it in a separate pan. This is fun. Lovely. Don't be scared when you do this. If you don't have a whisk, you could use a fork. Might take a whole lot more work. But these nice balloon whisks are so. And hey, who can complain? This thing's. I guess I don't want to confess. It's 40 years old. Sink. Just want to let that come to it. its final chance to thicken. We move on to part 2 for my roux. So just want to make sure it gets all heated through. You see little bubbles, tiny bubbles. I got tiny bubbles in my room. I got the tiny bubbles in my room. Okay. This is plenty hot. Now, to give you a better visual, take it. Over here, do a little swap today. This is my pan that I use for everything. This is really hot, so it's really pan's heating up. Flame under there. Toss a little olive oil in there. So I got myself about half a cup of onion. I just want to make sure I got enough olive oil. Really just need to kind of coat the bottom here. Keep everything from sticking. Drop more. Literally, I just want to coat the bottom. I didn't want to go crazy, so it really depends on how big a pan you're using. So I always want to get the onion cooking first because we want to start getting it translucent and get some of that liquid out of it. Magic to my ears. It's now toasting away. Now it's getting nice and hot. Garlic. I got a bunch here. It's actually 4 cloves. I'll just start getting some good color here. I'm actually looking for almost get a little brown to it. So I really want to get it on a high heat, really cooking. Nice little single layer. Kind of sit now that everything's nicely spread out. Coated in olive oil. I think I just got hit by a rogue piece of garlic. Alright, so let's just watch this for a second. Still got my water boiling here. Sure it's really good. I love the fragrance of garlic. I love cooking garlic. I cannot lie. using this as a distraction. I'm not messing with that. Okay, let's see how we're doing. Oh yeah, beautiful. A little color to it. Alright, so I've got some mushrooms from those little containers. These are just white button mushrooms. I think they used to be 10 ounces, I think they're now 8 ounces. So the trick with mushrooms is, they give off all this liquid, and that's one of the reasons they're like sponges, that you do not want to wash them, brush them off. Because, they're grown in the coal mines so that they can't be contaminated, and so the dirt they use is probably as safe to eat as any dirt. Oh, everything's getting nice color to it. Just trying to get these mushrooms starting to give off some of the liquid. Meanwhile, my onion and my garlic's getting a nice toast to it. Adds a lot of flavor. It really depends on what you're trying to achieve. A lot of recipes, the more you put the garlic in for it, you don't burn it. But actually in this recipe, kind of the opposite. Once we start these mushrooms cooking down, mushrooms cook down to nothing. I sliced it pretty thin. I didn't want this to be the major component. Oh yeah. Of course, it wouldn't be a fun meal if I didn't show you a magic trick. Right here in just uno momento. Water's starting to come out of the mushrooms now. So now what happens is that water makes a steam, so that's why I want to make sure that we get all that liquid cooked down. That's really the only reason that we do have a little bit of roux instead of just adding like cream. So while this is cooking, we're getting down to the wire, just one little pinch of crushed red pepper. I really think that really accentuates the flavor. Magic trick. So, in case you didn't get all the dirt off your mushrooms, put some black pepper in there. People won't know the difference. Pretty smart, huh? Is it dirt or is it black pepper? Oh my. Okay, so I got my mushrooms. And I do like the smell of black pepper when it's cooking, so it's kind of too cold. Alright. Pretty much, there's no liquid in here. So, more than magic, this is a science experiment. Look, we're going to take this big, huge bowl of baby spinach. It's one bag of baby spinach. Like, how's it ever going to fit in here? Check this out. Try this at home. Might be the only way to get your kids to eat spinach. Yeah. Alright, we complain about produce. Really having a hard time figuring out what to make because it's such an issue. It's decent produce. Alright. So we're going to make this all of a sudden disappear. I've got half a cup of sherry. So to me, sherry it's kind of like that Newburgh thing, is the greatest flavor you can add to your sauce. So this is really kind of like a cream sauce. Cook this a little hotter. Get that spinach wilted. We want to get it all kind of cooked down here. Now while this is cooking down, waiting for it to thicken. And the alcohol is going to cook out like it's already gone. So that's not a problem. I think the spinach is great coloring. It's also going to add a little bit of bite. So many ways you can eat spinach. It'll still be good. Okay, let me go get some stuff. Fresh from the fridge, I've got 2 lobster tails that I've chunked up. Yes, because I like lobster ravioli, but not, I like ravioli, but not lobster ravioli. So I want the lobster in my sauce. And this is going to poach really quick. Once again, we're going to get a little flavor from that sherry. That's why I really want to put it in here right while it's doing its thing. Alright, while this is finishing up, it's almost done. I gotta get my ravioli going here. So I've got this ravioli. Take a slotted spoon so I don't splash it all over myself. And this is fresh, so literally it's gonna cook in like 4 minutes. Make sure they're nice and separated. Sometimes pasta sticks, fresh pasta. Try not to tear it open. You have a big mess in your water. I'm gonna set a timer because I'm gonna get too distracted here. Great. Down to the wire here. My gloves ready. Okay, let's see. I think this is cooked down beautifully. Got just enough juice in here. Lobster depth. Another 30 seconds. Spinach is wilted, so it's going to add some nice bright color to the sauce. Okay, turn this down, move this, get this warm again. Also, want to make sure we whisk it back into shape in case there's any little skin on it or lumpies. Now I want to carefully spoon all the stuff into here. You get it all. Looks really good. So the only thing, because I do everything by instinct, oh yeah, these are beautiful. Oh well. So I think that these sherry sauces need to be a little pink. So I'm just going to take a little tomato paste, literally a little bit, like a tablespoon. Just going to stir it in there. Just enough that it's going to make it turn color. Perfect timing. And we can work on the color as needed. I just want to take a little step away from white, which I think I've pretty much done here. And we'll know it's going to finish kind of dissolving in here. Some of this. Take care of my ravioli. Tomato basil ravioli. Clean up after myself. Okay, that's good. Save those so I don't burn my hands. Check on this. Got a nice consistency to it, nice color to it. So, how do we finish this off? We need to put a little bit of Parmesan cheese in there. It's going to kind of thicken it up. About a half a cup. looks good, smells great. True. I call this a death row meal because everyone wanted this for their last supper. It's so good. All right. So how are we gonna do this? See if I can reach. Try to get some of that nice cream sauce in here. Top. Good stuff. So there you go, folks. This is a really lovely cream sauce. I love the spinach thing going on in it. I just think that this is a pretty easy, maybe it takes practice for some of this if you're not used to working in the kitchen like this. But this really turns out to be a nice friendly meal. If you think it's too rich, you can use it as a side dish. Actually thinking about tonight a little chicken parm on the side with this because I have some left over. Do whatever you want, but certainly try this stuff. Fresh pasta is great. Local store has this fresh pasta. It's already fresh ravioli. It's already done for you. You just have to basically heat it up. So, like I always said, please subscribe. Be my best friend. Comment. Tell me what you like, don't like, and ring that notification bell. Ding, 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 so you get more of my great recipes. Certainly, cooking I think is a really important thing that we've gotten away from. Get your family in the kitchen, let the kids experiment, teach everyone how to have better food. I was talking to a friend of mine who's significantly younger. Like, hey, it's time to go back to school. Kids are going back to college, and what do you eat? What do they eat? They eat junk food. Hey, all it takes is a little 2-burner electric hot plate and 40 bucks and 36 bucks, and you can cook. It doesn't take much, all right? So enjoy, have fun, and I gotta try this right now.